Hey there, paper geeks and glitter nerds, it's Shin, the crazy geek Kraft, and this is the last part of this huge fall card that I'm making. Like I said in the other videos, it is inspired by and designed by this lady called Calcott from the UK. She is wonderful. Go check out her channel. She does the most incredible cards, I have to say. So, but here's my card. Everything is listed in the description, by the way. Everything I have used so far will not be listed on screen, but everything is in the description in its full glory. For instance, the Sig marker, I used it before. The number you can find in the description. I won't put it on the screen since this is supposed to be watched together. But I'm getting ready to do all my collages. I am taking care of my chestnut here, horse chestnut. Remember, this is the poisonous one. And it was a really nice big element to have in the corner on one side. I actually feel really bad that I didn't have to. So I could have put one on the other side. Because I kind of needed a big element for the other side of the card, but I was a bit lacking. And I still haven't noticed, by the way, that my camera is crooked. I have no idea how I did not notice that, and yeah. But I will. Don't worry, we'll get there. But this is the beginning of my collage. I'm using the bigger leaves at the bottom, and then I'll fill in with the smaller items. I'm trying to figure out what to do about the second corner, because it needs some kind of focal point, because the other one has one to make the balance of the card, right? I'm trying to shade in this nut here. To make it look more round, since this is just made with plain Kraft cardstock and not with the ink blended cardstock that I used on the one next to it. I'm going to color the cap darker just to differentiate the two parts. And I'm going to try and make a cluster of nuts and other things to try and balance out the huge focal element on the corner of the other side of the card. Still, I'm not trying to steal the attention from the middle of the card, but since that is foiled, I should be pretty safe. Now that I've decided to make this element, I want something to try and help it stand out from the red and green leaves. So I'm going to need to use my access of green. That was the word. It just eluded me for a second. So in order to know how many I need for one element, I also started to build the front of the card. That's the wood round you see below the card. That's supposed to be on the front, but I wanted to make sure that I had enough of everything. The light color of the green will help the nuts stand out from the background. They are very dark, but they're still in the same tones as the leaves. And I did try several things to try and make them stand out. And I'm saving a few grains for the front, just to make sure. I have a tendency to sometimes forget these things. So I just put them aside already so they don't make it onto this part. I'm still not sure if this was the right decision for the other corner. I did debate whether or not I should actually ink blend another panel so I could get a horse chestnut for the other side, but I'm still debating that. But this is the card, and this is what it ended up with. I'm trying not to fiddle anymore with it, but it is tempting. So, but I don't think I could get the same exact color and feeling trying to ink blend again. I really don't think that would be possible. I'm still very bothered by the flaw I have on the Cardbase itself. In here, in the crease, you can see the core of the paper. I'm trying to rectify it with my SIG colors, but the orange is very bright. I did blend it out a lot, and it did help, but I'm still not completely happy. Moving on to sentiments. I told you I was going to try something new with the foil. This was made with my laser printer, and it should, when I put it through a laminator, then make the foil stick to what I printed. I was very excited for this. I really hope it will work, since that would be an awesome thing to be able to do. I made some different sentiments here, and I'm going to give it a try. You have to put it into something. They call it a carrier sheet. You can just fold a piece of paper, I read. So that's what I'm doing, but you can also get some plastic thingies you can use for it. But I just used the paper. And this is what it looks like when you get it back from the laminator. I only put it through once, and this is what it looked like. You can't really see it much on screen, but when I show you the rest of the foil, you can see that it didn't really foil everything. There's a lot of residue where the black can peek through. I'm not saying it's not. It makes it interesting to look at because it's not completely foiled, but I would very much like for it to be able to foil. And I'm uncertain what went wrong. But I suspect it's my laminator more than it's anything else. It is an older laminator, and I think maybe it's not heating as well as it should anymore. I do see when I laminate things there are a lot of air pockets, so maybe it's not pressing enough, or maybe it's not hot enough. I don't know, and I am hoping to borrow a laminator or two from people I know, so I can try this out with other laminators and see if it is the problem is the laminator, or is it my printer. But or maybe even the foil, who knows. But I'm cutting these down with a tiny white border to put it on the card. On the front it will say congratulations on your birthday. Now grammatically in Danish you wouldn't say your birthday, you'd just say birthday. That's why it's only 3 words. And then this one here says grandma, specifically mother's grandma, mother's mother. That's a thing in Danish. We have more titles for grandparents, so you actually know which side they belong to. But I need more sentiments for the inside, so I'm trying the foiling again. And this time I'll be running it through twice. And I did see some improvement. I'll show you the foil when I... yeah, it was a bit fiddly, the foiling thing. I will show you the foil. That's the easiest way to see how much is left, actually. And I think if I make a completely black square with my computer, print it out, I can actually use the rest of the foil, invert it or something. But you see this is cleaner than the other one, but not completely clean. It still has some spots where it's still black. So maybe it's the heat, maybe it's the pressure. I won't know till I do some more testing, but for now I'm pretty damn happy with how this turned out, because the copper foil really gives the card something special. And these I wanted here on the tops and bottom around the focal point of the cards inside. Unfortunately, I'm not good enough with the trimmer, so I accidentally cut too close, so I have to cut off the entire white border for these pieces. All the rest of the pieces will have white borders, but not these for the center inside. Unfortunately. I did notice that some of the foil rubbed off on my fingers. At least I had shiny fingers. I wouldn't say I had coppery fingers, just that they were shiny. I don't know if that will be a problem yet, but I am investigating. To carry the copper onto the sides, I also printed out the recipient's name. That name is Ellie, if you didn't guess. And I scattered it in the on the sides to carry the copper there too. And I'm going to stick in this grandma title here as one of them. It's subtle, and I like it because I could also have tried to put some foil on the leaves. But this was, I think, an elegant way to carry it through everything. So now the card is finished, I need to go make an envelope. I think maybe I should film how I do that too, because it's going to be a little bit bigger than normal, because this card is very thick. But all in all, I really do love this card, and it turned out great. And of course I see all the flaws, but hopefully the recipient won't. I hope you enjoyed this card and that you'll be back next week. Until then, I hope you'll be having a good day, evening or night.